Okay, so this was Special Forces Episode 7. And this one was jarring because we're already doing the death letter, and next week they're on the run. And I'm like, wait, I thought that there were 10 days. What's happening? But anyway, um, so this was a very fascinating episode. So, unfortunately, it didn't start off that great. Christine Rampone, Christine Pierce, suddenly had the same cough Jussie had at the very beginning, which, what is it about this environment that causes chest infections? But, so she had to be medically withdrawn and she felt horrible about it, which, yeah, I mean, you want to withdraw because your body just gave out, which I guess technically it did, but you want your body to give out on a task, not your body gave out because of the environment you're in. So that sucked for her. And then Mark, he has a painful ear, or as toxic masculinity dude put it, he has a cauliflower ear. It's like, who among us hasn't had a cauliflower ear? And I don't know if it was Bria or Gia who pointed out that he's a model. And I have to give him credit that when he was pulled out, it wasn't, when he was told about his ear, he wasn't like, well, shit, how is that going to affect my modeling career? It was, but I want to stay because, he wanted to finish the course. So I have to give him props for that. A lot of people who are models, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are a decent amount of people who are models who are so shallow about, that they can't, that if something happens to affect their looks, that they're just apoplectic. So I found it refreshing that Mark was more concerned about finishing the course than what this surgery on his ear is going to do to ease the swelling. So, um so that sucked. What I don't understand is, why is it that they let him get in the car? I mean, did he ask to see the medic, and the medic that they normally use at camp was unavailable, so they went with her? Or that was just weird that they let him get into the car. Or maybe he wanted to tough it out and he didn't call on the medic, and it was actually the staff who saw his ear and were like, nope, and called on a medic to come and look at his ear. Um, so yeah, that sucked for him too. Because even though we didn't see much of him, I still, he seemed to be taking everything well. Whether he passed or failed, he was doing well. Now, the other thing that's been ticking me off in the first task, the first couple to go was Cody and Sean. Now, on the one hand, yay, they aren't putting Sean and Andrew together, which is good because, not that I consider it cheating because under the circumstances, but at the same time, you've got to learn to work with people who you're not married to. So, okay. But why was she listening to this douche nozzle? Seriously. This happened with Gia and Bree. Why, you are strong women. You do not need to follow anybody, let alone a man. Why are you just letting a man tell you what to do? That was just so annoying because we know Sean. Sean is not the Sean we saw on on this task. So, and that finally, at least, Bree let Cody have it. I mean, Cody went up to Andrew and basically said, "I got your wife killed." Which, I mean, props for self-awareness, but Jesus Christ. At least Bree let him have it that, you're not the only decision maker. You do not have to tell other people what to do. And I really, really wonder because you always see him, or almost always see him paired up with women. I would love to see his bravado and his, "I'm the great decision maker and you must listen to me," if he was paired up with a guy. Because I really think, based on his misogyny and sexism, that that's why he feels like he has the upper hand. Like, people should listen to him because you're girls and what the hell do you know? Now, he might not be aware that he's doing that. He might not be, I mean, he's definitely aware of that he has sexist ideas. He is aware of that. But I wonder if he's aware of how he thinks so little of women that that's why he feels like he can boss them around. Like I said, I would love to get him paired up with a guy and let's see how quickly he, stops acting like the tough guy. Now, we find out later that maybe, just maybe, he might have learned something. That he might have actually gotten something out of his therapy session. But anyway, so I believe the only ones who passed were Bree and Randall. And Bree was so psyched that she finally got a pass. She finally got a win. Simply because she was getting ready to quit. So that she needed this win, which, fair. She quickly went back to asking herself, why the hell am I still here? Didn't verbalize it, but you could see it on her face. Just, the wheels are turning. So, they come back. Their second task. First, they call on Cody, and he's going to be the new duty recruit. So he's asking Gia how it's done. What do you need to do? So she told him what is all involved with being a duty recruit. And so I don't know if he's just trying too hard, or I think he's just trying too hard. I really do. Because he did say at the very beginning that men want to be respected. And he's trying way too hard to be respected. So we find out that he had 4 wives. Apparently he's down to 1. And 3 of the wives, the actual Epiphanius sister wives, are the ones who divorced him. And he is now just got the 1 wife. So, and he has 18 kids. Which, okay. So, each wife had a lot of kids. Now, I don't know if that 18, I did look this up. I do not know if that 18 includes the ones that Robin had from a previous marriage. Not sure. But, so, everyone's basically talking about how annoying he is and how to go about dealing with him. And Bree is the one who's taking the lead of how to deal with him, and Randall's like, I'm not doing that. You're you're much stronger than me. I'm not doing that. So, the first person to go to therapy is Sean. And they're concerned about how freaking robotic she is. And I'm just like, have you never watched a gymnastics meet? I mean, you look at them and everything about that world is choreographed. Now, granted, I didn't know how far the abuse went at the time, but yeah, you can see it on their faces that, you don't see smiling. I mean, you might see a little bit of that between events. And that again depends on the person. Some people, laugh and joke with either their teammates or the other team. And then there are some who are just stoic. But it turns out that was a team goal. That you can only show emotion at certain times, which, ugh. But anyway, so they talked to Sean. They said, you just have to open up more. And it's not that she doesn't want to, it's just that she's never been allowed to. So the whole thing scares her, which, okay, that's fair, because basically showing emotion means showing vulnerability, which, that is a scary issue. So, but Cody had the weirdest response to that. They say I'm too robotic, and his response was just so weird. I mean, I guess he liked it because it seemed like Sean was pliant and that she was just some shrinking violet who would listen to what a man tells her. I mean, I just do not know it was just a weird reaction. So then we go to the next task, which is all about an obstacle course. Go on the monkey bars, then throw the tire, and then do push-ups. And I believe that was it. I think those were the 3 parts of the course. Now, obviously, Sean won her pair because, of course, she did. I mean, you don't just stop being an athlete the second you stop competing. Even though she did say it's been a while, but since she pushed herself, but still, she's obviously still in great shape. I think she coaches, so she's still a part of that world. Hopefully she's not as abusive as people were to her. But, and of course Randall was an absolute beast, which, again, you expect that. So they get to go in first. The next 2 are Cody and Andrew. And Cody is so excited about about how many times he was able to flip the tire. And he was bragging about it. And I'm just thinking, you're bragging about that to Randall. Did you not watch this man? I mean, what the heck? And so the last two were Gia and Bree. And Bree just could not stay on the monkey bars to save her life. So Gia won that round, and they questioned whether Bree was trying. And she's very confused. She's like, I do not like being told that I'm not trying. And, Sean said it best. They're trying to get into your head. So at least somebody watched the previous shows, the previous seasons. So the staff is laughing at Cody, and they declare that none of the recruits like him. And I'm pretty sure that none of the staff do either. I think they find him entertaining, but not in a good way. So they call him in for his therapy session, and we find out that his wives divorced him and that his kids want nothing to do with him because it seems that he's basically like a cat. He wants their affection, and he will give them his affection, but only under certain circumstances. It's like, that's not how parenting works. I mean, obviously you don't want them to be axe murderers, but at the same time, what? You're basically saying unless you are strictly like I want you to be. And he's not the only parent I have seen online who is like that. This idea that because I'm the parent, I somehow deserve my child's affection, even when I am the absolute worst person in the world. Not how this works. So basically, Billy, because he's Billy, told it to him straight. I still find it hilarious that they call him an old timer. It's like, you do know Billy's actually older than Cody, right? But anyway, Billy told it to him straight that, he's like, I don't like being wrong. It's like, nobody does. It's just this very, like he said adolescent, but it's this really childish way of looking at the world. Just like men want to be respected and women only want to be loved. So you're saying men don't want to be loved and women don't want to be respected. Wait, what? No wonder your wives divorced you. What the heck? So anyway, Cody actually cried, and they basically told him he needs to, stop insisting that he has complete control. He needs to cede control to other people because you can control yourself, but you cannot make others do what you want to do. And he probably would have gotten that lesson earlier if the women that he was paired with would just, grow a spine and actually tell him off. Bree finally did after the first task of the day. But still, what the heck? So hopefully we will see a less annoying Cody. Now, granted, he's been like this for 57 years, so I doubt that it's going to happen overnight, so he's probably going to remain annoying Cody. But at least there is potential there. Potential for him to realize that just how horrible he's actually being. Then they had to do the death letters. Like I said, this surprised me because I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't it a little early? I thought they were, 10 days. So, day 8. Well, actually, it's towards the end of day 8 they go on the run. So day 9 is going to. No. No, on the run is usually overnight. They don't go into the next day. Day 9 is going to be the interrogation. So are you saying that they only lasted 9 days? I guess that means that they don't have enough people to go the full 10 days? I'm not sure. But anyway, so there's of course a task, and then they're going to go on the run. So it's only a matter of they're implying that Bree might not make it. So it might be that only 5 go on the run. I do not know. All I know is that I cannot wait for the time when Cody has to deal with a female interrogator. I really cannot wait for that to happen. As much as I wanted him to go home before, that is the only reason why I'm okay with him sticking around. I want the female interrogator to make him cry. I mean, it's possible he would have, opened up like he did to anybody. But at the same time, I really, really think that because he's opening up to men, it's all right. I was actually also surprised that he talked about being a slob, because I would think that someone like him would actually care about that, but whatever. With the death letters, obviously we only heard a small portion of everybody's letter, because at least with one of the letters, like with Cody, it scanned the full page, so we only heard a little bit. And it was so nice how they were encouraging Cody to, to get in touch with his emotions by applauding him after he read his death letter. Or maybe they applauded for each and every one and they just showed the applause for him. I'm not sure. And it was so sweet the way Andrew was looking at Sean so lovingly while she was reading her death letter. I mean, you can see how much they love each other, and it was so sweet to see. Let's see, what else is there? Who do I think is going to make it? Because obviously not all 6 are going to make it. Sean is most definitely going to make it. Because even when you're in a stress, I mean, her whole training in gymnastics was abusive. So there is literally nothing that they can throw at her that's going to make her say, I'm done. Whether now, and I really don't think that if Andrew were to say, yeah, I'm done, I don't think Sean would be like, yeah, I'm going with you. Sean doesn't strike me as that type of person. As much as she loves and supports Andrew, she isn't going to just give up because, Andrew is gone. I really don't know, except for Bree. I really don't, I don't even know if she'll even make it to the on the run portion, let alone make it into, make it through the interrogation. I'm not sure. Now, both Randall and Andrew, they're used to being yelled at. Because, coaches will do that. They will yell at you. So they should be fine with the interrogation. Whether they'll be fine being stuck in stress position and being forced to listen to those noises. I don't know. I mean, the one thing that all three have in common are that they're parents. So maybe they'll be okay. The question is Cody. Because since he has this mindset of, I need to be in control, and when you reach the interrogation phase, you are 1,000% not in control. I don't know how well he'll handle it. Especially, like I said, when he gets interrogated by a woman. That might make his head even more explode. So, I don't think Cody is going to make it. Bria, like I said, I don't know if she'll even make it to that portion. Gia, I don't know. She's a wild card. I really don't know how she would do. But, yeah, I'm surprised that it's almost over. I mean, granted, it's just one less episode than I was expecting, but still, I'm surprised. It just snuck up on me. Suddenly, we're doing death letters, which makes what happened to Christine and Mark even more tragic because they were so close. I believe that is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.